Yes, peace and blessings. This is Malik Ishmael with the Vanguard Show podcast. And today I have a very special guest on the podcast today. I have author Jeanette Foster-Williams, and she's the author of Overcoming Abuse, Standing Strong Through It All, and the founder of the online business Divine Guided Legacy LLC. Jeanette recently participated in the Black Authors Expo, which me and my wife had a great time, and it was such an honor to meet her. And she's one of the most stylish ladies I've seen in Tampa, absolutely. And she's coming on to talk about her new releases. I think she has one that's called "Who Am I?" that's available on Kindle. So, without further ado, we're going to bring Miss Jeanette to the stage.
How are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Oh, good, good. And first of all, how is your husband doing? I wanted to ask how he's doing and how can people continue to support his recovery?
Yeah, so every day my husband gets better. So since the accident, he had broke his C1 cervical spine, where it was to the point where it was almost severed from his thoracic spine. So they repaired it. He has titanium in his neck. He's been healing every day. He had 30 staples. It was pretty intense. They since then, the last couple of weeks, they have removed the staples out of his neck. He actually came home with like a lump from the bottom of the incision that has since then went down. He's able to walk around more independently. He's able to feed himself, and it's like every day is a better blessing. It was tough at the beginning, but of course, lack of work. He's unable to still work. He still goes through his pains of from the accident, of course, because I told him just one day at a time. And I still have a GoFundMe up just in case anyone wants to support as well inside my link on Facebook, Instagram, as well as TikTok.
Okay, all right. Well, make sure for my audience, make sure you follow her and also support her because she's an outstanding sister. From what I understand, from Cleveland. I used to live in Cincinnati, just to let you know briefly. And
Yeah.
you moved to State Farm in 2023. What pretty much sparked that move to Florida?
Oh my goodness, Malik. I've been trying to get down to Florida for the last like 15 years. I work for the Cleveland Clinic Health System, and
Okay.
I was trying to transfer from Ohio to Florida for years. I started back in 2010. And I said, if I can get down to Florida, they have a Cleveland Clinic, that would be wonderful. Let me, do everything I had to do. But it was like, bumps in the road that, things that kept me back where people needed me at that time. So my youngest son, Jalen, which is my heartbeat, my last fourth heartbeat, by the way, because I have four
Okay.
sons, he
Okay.
was done with high school at the end of 2022. He kept pushing himself. And he completed December of 2022. I said, to my husband, Lawrence, it's time to move. We are getting up out of here. You out in the dog. We don't have to worry about nothing else. I did invite my youngest son. He's like, oh, no, I'm staying back in Ohio with my brothers. I'm like, okay, we're taking off. We're taking off. So I'm
Okay.
actually really happy to be here, even though it's been a challenge with the hurricane. So when we first
Yeah.
came, it was like the hurricane warnings, and then last year the two hurricanes that hit. I'm like, oh, this is different from Ohio,
Definitely.
but oh my goodness gracious. But yeah, that's how we ended up down here, and we've been down here for the last 2 years.
Oh wow. Well, welcome.
Mhm.
We've been here on and off. We used to come. We used to live in Atlanta for 25 years. My wife and I, Kathy,
Oh,
and yeah,
really?
and we used to come down. I'm originally from Miami. Although my people and my wife's
Wow.
people come from Louisiana, but we used to come down. I said, let's check out Tampa. And we'd come back every year or at least every other year to Tampa because we loved it so much. And instead of a vacation, we made it a staycation and retired here.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Absolutely.
congratulations to you
Absolutely.
too. I love it. That's great
Oh,
encouragement.
Thank you so much. And let's get right to it. Again, as I spoke earlier, my wife and I had the pleasure of meeting you at the Tampa Bay Black Authors Expo, fourth edition. But this is not your first time with them. Talk about how you learned of it, your participation in it, and what you got from it as a participating author.
Actually, I was doing some secondary work. I was actually dropping off a delivery to Miss
Mm.
Author Tanisha, which I call her Author T. And I was dropping off something to her, a little wine, and she said, "Hey, do you read?" I was like, "Yes and no." I said, "But I'm an
Okay.
author, I have a book." She's like, "So do I." And I was like, "What, really?" So that's when she started telling
Mm.
me about the Tampa Bay Author Expo that she attended. She actually said prior to that, she attended one back in New Orleans. And she's like, "Jeanette, maybe you would like to attend that one as well." And I was like, "Well, I don't think I'll be able to make it to that one." But she said, "Well, maybe you can make it to the Tampa Bay. Let's go together." So I was, had butterflies in my stomach. I said,
Okay.
"I ain't never did nothing like this before. This is something different," but it was amazing just to
Wow.
know that I was, heading towards something different because never have I ever wrote a book before prior to that. So she encouraged me to go. And so that's how I ended up learning about Tampa Bay. That was at the time was the third annual expo last year. Yeah, third annual because
Okay.
this year is the fourth annual.
Okay. Oh wow, yes, yes, and I actually participated in the first annual, and then the fourth. In between, I
Ah.
had a whole bunch of travels, so
Mm.
I plan on being a fixture now that we're here in Tampa permanently, and I'd love to see you there. And also,
Yeah.
you've got to shout out your boy, brother William Ricker.
Oh my
When
gosh. Yes,
yeah.
William. Yes. Oh, go ahead. Sorry about that.
Oh no, no, go ahead. When did you meet William? Because I just found both of you delightful, and you guys have a definite writer energy that is very effective. How did you meet William? And I know he's a native-born Tampa person, but how did you meet William?
Yes. So I was actually at the Tampa Bay Author Expo, which the one they rescheduled for October 2024. William actually walked up to my table and he just had this look in his face like he was just so curious. And he said, "Tell me a little bit about your book." I told him a little bit about my book. And then he let me know, like, "Hey, I'm actually a comic writer. I'm in the middle of writing a book now." And I was thinking about publishing and, asked me what did I think. I told him, I said, he's like, "What advice can you give me?" I said, "Honestly," I just gave him like some overall advice I give everybody. I said,
Right.
"Stop complaining about the same thing if you're not willing to do anything to change it." And so he said, "Oh,
Exactly.
okay, okay." So I
Mhm.
gave William my number and I gave him, with my card and everything. I said, "Here you go, give me a call anytime." So William just actually started texting me throughout the year, starting after October. And then he was asking me about any upcoming expos, and I didn't attend anything prior to that, during a few different trips, but one of them we did attend like the Black Entrepreneur. William wasn't part of that one, but I told him about that one. And we actually had a book signing that day, but I made it back too late from off the entrepreneur bus. So it took us a little bit longer because we went all the way out to St. Petersburg. So it was a little bit delayed. But William said, "If I can
Okay.
make it out there, I'll
Mm.
make
All
it."
right.
He wasn't able to make it. It was okay.
Hmm.
But when this one came up for the Tampa Bay, the fourth year, I was like, "Hey, let's go." So he asked me about the
Yeah.
information,
Yeah.
gave him the information. He signed up. He said, "I'm going to be there." I was like, "Okay," because he did let
Mm.
me know. Like I published my fourth, not my fourth book. No, I said fourth book. He said I published in April. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think it was April, the day he gave
Okay.
me. And I said, "Oh, congratulations!" And
Okay.
I saw how big William book was. I said, "Woo, you got an encyclopedia there. That's a big book. That's a lot of writing." So, but I was so proud of
Right.
him
Wow.
because William stays so consistent with
Mm.
everything. He keeps me
Yeah.
on my feet.
Oh wow, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
such a wonderful young man, and again, I want to kind of get into jumping back to your history specifically, tell me about your upbringing, family dynamic, and what inspired you to write.
Oh goodness. So my upbringing was strict, Malik.
Mm,
It was strict. So
okay.
it was all ladies and with my
Mm,
dad. So he was the
okay.
the iron fist of the house. So it
Right.
was it was a lot that was going on, behind closed doors. It was
Right.
always like whatever goes on in this house stays in this house. And it was tough. It was really
Mm,
tough being a girl. I was a tomboy growing up. So I was a young mom as well, and it kind of led to things. So I was considered more as unruly, but I wasn't unruly. I was misunderstood. I stayed on the
mm,
punishment like a lot. Me and my siblings, we were forever punished for things. It could be from just not vacuuming the floor or coming home 15 to 20 minutes late. It was just a lot of strictness. We was on punishment for
right.
like a year at a time. We
Mm,
used to have to
wow.
write, like if you did something wrong, like I will not, and it was like paragraphs, paragraphs. You have to write it like 400 or 500 times, 1,000 times. So it was pretty strict for us, not being able to
Okay.
have that freedom. Now, what led me to,
Mm, I
um,
understand. Wow.
yeah, yeah, that was pretty much what led me to my book. Um, like some odd years
Okay.
later, overcoming abuse, standing strong through it
Okay.
all. I know you wanted to probably ask me a question about that as well, but it was,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Kind of discuss the well. Now we know why you wrote the book. Then discuss the book. Basically give the overview, and then where can people get it? Because I definitely want to get that information out there.
yes. So, as far as what led me up, I was actually working on myself, Malik.
Mm,
I was sitting around. I didn't know what to do. I felt stuck and stagnant, and I know a lot of people
mm,
out there know what that feeling is. I didn't know what else I wanted to do with my life, even though I have a full
mm,
time job, steady. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And once I started working on myself, I did not realize that I suppressed some hidden things that happened to me as a child. So
mm.
once
Okay.
it all came out, I said, "Oh my God, I can't believe this happened to me." So I know
Mm,
that, in the universe, things happen, things are suppressed because some things we can't handle growing up. I don't even know if I would have been here if I would have remembered what I went through behind them closed doors. So, in
right.
order for me to be able to get that pain out, I wrote about it and I put it into
Mm,
words. And once I put
okay.
it into words, it was like a fresh breath of air because I cried for a week when I remembered what happened. It took me about,
Mm,
I would say, maybe almost 30 years before I was able to remember what happened to me.
right. Wow. Wow. And I think that you sharing your story could help so many. How do you think it's impacting those who read your book and have gone through similar things? What was your intent behind it, and how do you think it's coming over in terms of getting that healing and understanding and forgiving self in a way, not others, but forgive, allowing yourself to live and go forward.
Yeah. What I realized, I have actually spoken to a lot of young men and women. It allowed them to be able to have a voice and speak up and speak out and don't allow anyone to manipulate you. It allowed them to pull the bones out of the closet and be able to speak up because a lot of people was afraid because it's always been a thing in our generations of you're not supposed to, you're not able to speak about that, or you'll get this. It was forbidden.
Right.
Me, I said I'm going to change that
Mm,
regardless. If I lost certain friends, family, I said, I'm going to change that. I'm going to pull the bones out of the closet. I'm going to speak about it. And I have had people tell me, like, Jeanette, I wasn't even thinking about coming out saying anything until you said something. And I have heard some stories that will break your heart, like, because some people went through
mm,
similar experiences, less or even if not more. And it's amazing how now they're starting to speak out about it. So
Oh, well,
when it comes to my book, they can find it on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Books a Million, or even if they can't find the book itself, they can always Google my name, Jeanette Foster-Williams, on Google. They can find it, or they can just type in the book name, Overcoming Abuse, Standing Strong Through It All. Because the book, it basically is not a big book. It's a quick read.
mm,
Some customers told me it took them like 2 hours, 2.5 hours to read it. But they said, Jeanette, you got your story out. I understand. And even a friend of mine
right,
told me, she knew me 30 years. And even though I
mm,
told her my story back in the day for other things that I went through, she said,
right,
Jeanette, I just thought you was unruly. I
mm,
didn't understand until I read your book. And I'm thinking like, what? All
wow,
these years I told you what I went through, and reading my book is something about words, Malik. When people
yes,
read it in words,
yes,
it changes everything
right,
when they
right,
reading it. Me saying it, it seemed like it didn't matter to people.
right,
But
right.
when they
It
read
kind
it,
of
they
comes
said,
in and out of
oh,
people's, kind of comes in and out of people's ears. But when you read something, you have that physical look of those words and how it penetrates your psyche. That's what I think did for people that read your book, correct?
yes, yes, that's correct. And so a buddy of mine, because I used to run away all the time, even when I
Mm,
became a mom, by the way, at the age of
mhm,
15. So I was pregnant at 14. So I was looked at
okay.
as this fast girl. Oh, she's having a baby out of wedlock. But actually, Malik, my son, Jamel, he
Mm,
saved my life. He's 30
oh,
now.
oh, wow, wow! It's
I'm
hard to believe
I'm
you have a 30-year-old
45.
son. It's hard to believe though because you look like you're in your early 30s.
Oh, that's a beautiful compliment. And that is a beautiful compliment. Yes,
True.
I was a young mom, and my sons are 30, 25, 24, and 22. So
Oh
I
wow.
have four sons, three with my husband. But yes, he saved my life. My son saved my life. It's like he stopped me from doing the things, imaginable things that I wouldn't even want to even bring up. But him coming into my life, becoming my
Mm,
son, he was placed here for
wow.
me,
Wow.
you know, because I hid him. And that's a
Mm,
part of my little bit part of my book. I hid him
right.
from my parents when I was pregnant. I didn't want them to know that I was pregnant. And I said, they're not going to take this one away from me. This is mine. And I hid
Right.
it.
Mm,
I hid
wow.
it, So, and he's not in Florida, but he's here. He's 30 years old. So I'm
Right.
so grateful for him. I'm grateful for
Oh,
the other ones, of course. I want them looking at this saying, okay, mom, what about us? But he was my beginning. He was my first heartbeat.
mm. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Well, you have to first of all talk about that family, that your own family, the one you've created. Talk about the support they've given you on this writing journey, and and what that means to your healing and what have you to move forward as a writer.
Yeah, so my sons, they were kind of like up and down with it. They were hurt to the
Mm,
fact of the person they heard that, did that thing or did them things. And so they didn't know how to approach it. So they've been kind of not distance to me, but distance to that person. And I said, you don't have to, be that way. You can still move forward, and, don't let me be the reason why, you're not communicating in that type of way now. But in their minds, like, this is mama. That's what they call me, or mommy. Is
mm,
it mama or mommy?
mm,
And
mm.
like, even with my first book, I had some misspelled words. Oh, Malik, I had some misspelled words because I created this book on my iPad and everything. I was just writing. I was like, tick, 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 tick. It took me 3 months. Tap, 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 tap. Just writing that
Wow.
little short read book.
Wow.
And I said, Jeanette, you got this. And I said, how are you going to tell your sons? I didn't know how I was going to
Mm,
tell them,
yeah.
but I had to
Yeah.
tell them because that's, they, when you're related to people and you hear about things like this, you say, how do I get this out to them? Forget everybody else. Forget everyone else.
Right, right,
What about your 4 heartbeats? And so they have been very supportive. My oldest son was telling me, he said, Mommy, this is your book. It doesn't
mm,
matter what errors is in that book. You made your point. People read, they understand, they understand. That's a part of you. You are now an author.
no, beautiful, beautiful. I love that. Yes. And what was your husband's reaction to your writings and your books?
Yeah, my husband, he didn't know what to do. He said, I don't know what I can do to make you feel better. Because I cried
Yeah,
for a week when I remembered. I cried for a
yeah,
week.
I
So
understand.
he came in the room that during the first few days, he hugged me and then he let me be. He let me just sit with myself while I just took, took, took,
Mm,
took, took on that iPad, like, took, 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 took. And it's like in between that, I worked, I get off of work
yeah,
and I was right back on that iPad, just working and just getting it out, being able to breathe. But
well,
he was very supportive. He gave me my space. In between time, he said, Do
beautiful.
you need anything?
Mm,
I said, I'm okay.
no,
It just that this it's been
beautiful.
29 years with us. So it's been like a long journey, with me and
Oh,
my husband
beautiful.
and I. Yeah. So he said,
Oh,
whatever
beautiful.
you want, whatever you need, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh,
And that's all
that's
I
beautiful.
needed.
Well, you truly have a twin flame in your relationship. And that love definitely shines bright. I can definitely tell that.
Yeah.
And also talk about your online business. I want to kind of get people to know about your Divine Guided Legacy LLC. What it is about, what's its purpose and mission, and how can you get people to support it?
Yeah. So Divine Guided Legacy, that name I came up I within my journey of healing. And I said I was
Mm,
divinely guided to do
mm,
many different things. I was divinely guided to advocate. So I created the LLC. I said, please let it be available. I created in Ohio, by the
mm,
way. So let this name
okay.
be available. It was available. And
Mm,
so when I created my online store, I said, I'm going to create a store that has a lot of different inspirational items with whether it's a blanket, a
okay.
cup, it's more like printed items, create, even if a customer send me an idea like, oh, put this on the shirt or, can you put this on a jacket or can you create this? I will create it is more so e-commerce business. And so if they go into
Mm,
Divine Guided
okay.
Legacy LLC, printify me, they will be able to find me, even if they're going on my Facebook, Jeanette Foster-Williams, if they're going on my author, Lady Jeanette, um, TikTok or my Instagram, Lady Jeanette 4, they'll be able to find a link in there as well. I'm trying to guide people away from the Etsy side. They could be a little
Okay.
expensive because I'm also in Etsy.
Okay.
But the
Right. Okay.
the but the catch is the
Yeah.
production fee. It's the
Right.
production fee. So if they order from Etsy, so I would tell people now, if you order from Etsy, what happens is I have to pay the production fee to printify me or to the printify that I'm working out of, where it makes me come out of my pocket. So it's like I kind of like go a little crazy, like, oh my God, I don't have the money to pay that, but I'm kind of like forced to pay the production fee. But if they come directly onto my website
Mm,
itself, that's in my link, just click on it. And it's like what happens is Printify will give me whatever I earn after everything is already produced. So it helps me versus them going straight to Etsy. Etsy basically, which I love them in their own way, but they
right.
help push the customers to you so they can see it. But if people can, just come directly to my site and support that way, that would be wonderful. And just keep the momentum up. Just keep continue to do it. Tell a friend, tell a friend, and tell a friend.
Okay, that's the way to do it, definitely.
Hmm.
And also, I want to ask about your who am I? I always follow you, and I saw that you have a new release on Kindle. Tell me about who am I and how people can order it.
Yeah, so who am I? It might show up backwards when I hold it up. This is the size of the
Okay.
book.
Oh,
Who am I?
okay.
So,
Okay.
who am I? I'm going to read a little bit.
Beautiful.
Who am I is a children's book that takes young readers on a journey of self-discovery, courage, and
Okay.
imagination. Okay. Now, for
Beautiful.
me,
Beautiful.
Malik, this book is, I have to list it as fictional, but it's actually more so still spiritual, something that I went through as a child. Um,
Mm,
I used to always, if you ever heard of astroplane, as a
yes.
child, things I said, it looks like I've been here before. Deja
Mm,
vu. So I talk
right.
about that in the book. So the pages are colorful. You see,
Oh,
you'll have like the picture
yes.
on one side, you'll
Okay.
have the story on another side, and it just takes the child on a journey. So it basically helps the children find their voice, their courage, and
Okay.
their light. So and
Oh,
it's
awesome.
twelve
Right
ninety
on. That's beautiful.
nine. It's 12.99,
Okay.
so it's on Kindle, and then they approved me to put it as a paperback. So I'm working
Okay.
on also a oh my goodness, it's it's an extension to this book where it have activities and everything. So an activity book, it'll still have the story in the front, and I have the activities in
Mhm.
the back. It's just a little bit bigger, and I'm trying to get it in the form of a hardcover.
Okay. All right.
So
And
yeah,
who did the cover art for it? It's beautiful.
I had a little bit of help from AI. So it's little Jeanette, by the way.
Okay. All right.
So
Okay.
it's kind of a struggle when you try to get AI and Google to help you design a face. I said I need a face that looks similar to mine, but I want
Okay.
an innocent child, and I want to base it off of little Jeanette. So even though it don't look
Okay.
exactly like me, of course, but it's
Right.
little Jeanette. So when you're reading, it says little Jeanette, and it tells you about the different s- journeys are going on throughout the book. And there's only 12
Right.
little chapters. It's not a lot of chapters
Oh.
at all. That's why it's so thin.
Okay.
Yeah, here's the back of the book. And this is a nice little size,
Okay.
like a
Oh,
8,
beautiful. Beautiful.
8.25 by
And
11.
I
Yeah.
noticed. Oh, go ahead. Yeah,
Oh,
I was
no,
going
no,
to
no. Go
say
ahead,
that
fine.
I noticed she's coordinated very well as you always are.
Yeah, with the bucket hats, with the bucket hats. Yes.
Hey, well, after my wife and I met you, my wife told me, she said, she put that stuff on.
I love your
So I just
wife.
want to
I
let you
love
know
your
that.
wife. Tell her I said thank you. Tell her
100.
I said thank
Oh,
you.
I will. I'll make sure I do that.
I
Now, what are
appreciate it.
your what are your current plans? Well, what were some of your current projects and future plans that I can tell my audience?
So my current project, I'm actually trying to work on a comic book. Like
Hmm,
I William encouraged me,
okay.
just looking at his different adventures he's been on throughout the year. I said, oh my God, if I can get this comic book out here, and it's not as easy as I thought it would be when it comes to a comic book,
Yes.
but that's the
Oh, yes.
next project that I'm working on.
Okay.
Also Barnes and Noble. I'm trying to get my Who Am I into Barnes and Noble as well, just like I have my Overcoming Abuse book that's in there. Now I've somewhat put my second book, Overcame, Becoming of Myself, on pause for
Mhm.
now. Overcame is the sequel to Overcoming Abuse. So it just tells you how I overcame. So I
Okay.
started and then I stopped it. And then I ended up, life happened. And then recently, as you see, I jumped into the children's book because sometimes you get to the point you say, well, I don't want to be sad anymore. Let me do something else and we
That's
work on
great.
something different. So that's why I've been like a hold on it. But even though overcame, becoming of
Mhm.
myself is how I overcame. It's still a little bit of drama in that second book,
Okay.
because it includes a little bit of my husband. So I'm still trying to figure out the narrative of that book because I don't want to
Okay.
like make him look a little crazy because we had our journeys was like this too. So I'm like,
Oh, wow.
yeah, you Jeanette, you got to think about this. So that's part of my future, um,
Okay.
and also working on something not as of yet, but my future, other future project would be I want to fight for my husband as far as in words of what he'd been through with his job,
Right.
his previous job that he was working at, with the challenges of discrimination against his disability because he has epilepsy. So
Okay.
I'm just trying to like find ways to be able to get the word out here and just let other readers know and understand, whoever been through this, do not be afraid to speak up if you're being discriminated against. And if someone's talking to you in a disrespectful way, you can go to the state that you live in and you can file a claim with EEOC. So that's another future project as well, just to get something out there.
Oh, outstanding. And that kind of advocacy is so important for all people going through things as well.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And talk about any book festivals and events you have coming up.
You know what? I don't have any that I have attended or have like any futuristics so far. I've been looking. William and Author T, they've been sending me little things here and there. I see that Enoch, I think it's called Enoch, something about Enoch. Author T had a great uncle that actually used
Mm,
to run that church. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it's off in St. Petersburg. I was thinking about attending that. Um, I don't know if that's on November
okay.
22nd, but I got to get the dates together. But if I'm not mistaken, William
Okay.
may be going there also. But it will be good for us to do it as a group, and just to be support,
Yeah.
and just the exciting thing to know that Enoch was related to Author T. It's amazing.
Mm. Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful, outstanding. Yeah, that's wonderful. Also, how can people, contact you for business inquiries? Also, you'd be a great lecture person just to talk about your experiences. And how can people follow you on social media to just follow your journey?
Yeah, so they can email me, and I can spell it out for them at Jeanette Foster-Williams at yahoo.com, which is JeaneTeTeFosterWilliams at yahoo.com. Email me. I will respond right away because I'm checking my emails periodically throughout the day. So, and then,
Okay.
as I said before, you have my Facebook, Jeanette Foster Williams. They can reach out to me, inbox me, Lady Jeanette 4 on Instagram, and author Lady Jeanette on TikTok as well.
Okay. And I always ask my guests, who inspired you outside of yourself and certainly the strength you have developed to be the person you are? Was there anyone, be it famous, be it another family member, that really gave you some type of inspiration to help you along your journey?
As far as my writing journey, I'm going to be honest with you, not the writing journey side of it. The writing journey came from within me because I used to have a diary, and back in the younger day, I used to just write about my feelings, and I didn't know how to express it besides writing it down. So when I went through something like this, and as a child, I was trying to figure out, once I became an adult, how do I express myself? So, you have different avenues. You go online, Google, TikTok. TikTok has so much stuff, Malik, on there. It's like
It does.
it's crazy. And
It is.
I was on there, and I was listening to a reader. She was actually talking, and her name is Michelle Davidson. She's a reader. Everyone doesn't believe, in it. And I heard her tell someone, if you're going through something, write it out.
Right.
And I was thinking, like, I didn't think of that. I didn't think about just writing about it. But she was like a reader. She's more of a reader. She doesn't use tarot cards. She just speak, just
Mm,
able to like read people, and she was just speaking about it. And I was like, wow, because I'm more spiritual. I'm not
right.
religious, or I don't discuss religion, but I was just listening. I'm more open-minded. And I said, that's a great idea. I think I want to try that. Just
Okay.
listen, just going on TikTok. Yeah.
Okay. Well, with this modern era, there's all type of ways to do the promotion and the impact I think it has on not only our national and local communities, but internationally can definitely help out, especially with
Yeah.
the type of book you have. I think it's something I want people to support. And
Yes.
before we get out of here, I gotta definitely ask you to give any shout outs to the family, friends, colleagues. Shout them out. Show the love.
Yeah, so I would like to give a shout out to my husband. I actually made him a shirt prior to the accident, Define All Odds. He's been with me since 1996. We were 16 years old, went to Shaw High School in East Cleveland, Ohio.
Wow.
Also, a
Wow.
shout out to my four sons, Jamel, Jay LJ, which he's Lawrence Jr., and Jalen, as well as my stepson, Noah, and my stepdaughter, Shania. So I would like to give a shout out to them. And
Okay.
also my support systems. I would like to give a shout out to my sisters, my older sister, Lakeisha, my sister, Rakita, my sister Terry, my sister Jeronica, just everybody that's been hanging in there with me this whole entire time. And then my mom, of course, she gave me, I'm not going to say her name on here, but she actually gave me
Okay.
her blessing to actually write the book because she plays a major role in this book. And I know it was really hard for her. She said she never even read the book. So give a shout out to my mom as well. That's in Ohio, and anybody else I miss, oh, and my little friends that I actually communicate with, my one BFF, Anitra, um,
Mm.
Shataja, I love her, and then even though my one buddy Ebony, she's a little out there with her outspokenness, I give her a shout out as well, and my big buddy Torian.
All
So I
right.
know it's a lot of people. It's just so many people. I can't even name them
Oh,
all.
hey, beautiful, beautiful. Share.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to give you the love. Well, we're going to go ahead and conclude. But again, thank you for first of all writing the book and all your efforts to bring about that consciousness of healing and of just self recovery, if you will. And I really want to thank you for all you do. And again, I'll be talking with you soon. As soon as you have any updates, just let me know, and you can share my airwaves. I'll be happy to do that for you.
Thank you so much. And thank you very much for having me, Malik. I appreciate you.
Okay, and again, thank you so much, and give the best to your husband and the rest of the family. And I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. See you
Thank you,
later.
Queen.
You welcome.
See you later now.
Bye.
Bye bye.